At Hershey Park, the only thing more exhilarating than the thrilling rides is the assurance that every thrill you get will not be your last one. While many of the different roller coasters at Hershey Park can feel scary, the truth is that all of them have built-in high-quality mechanics, daily inspections they have to undergo, and other safety features to ensure safety. I've lived in Pennsylvania my entire life, yet only 2 years ago have I actually felt comfortable on the rides at Hershey Park. And the reason for that is because I learned about all of the different safety that each ride has. And so today I'll be discussing special mechanics, the safety features, and the daily inspections so that you too can feel comfortable on your next ride at Hershey Park. Now, imagine you're going up a roller coaster and you hear this sound. Even though this sound can feel very scary, this is actually very imperative to the ride. So this clicking sound is actually emitted from the anti-rollback system. And Maxima Piera explains that this is preventing your roller coaster from moving backwards. And how this works is that there are continuous flat and pointed material that runs across the track. And then attached to the train, there are these things called pawls, which are also known as dogs. And so basically, this is ensuring that while your roller coaster is moving up, it will not be going down. This system was built only for moving up, so there is no possible way that you'll be going down while you're going up. So that's why this system is extremely important. Now, imagine you were just soaring through the air on your ride, and you're enjoying your time. There is wind going through your hair, it's going great, and then you realize, how are we going to stop? This is where brakes come in, and brakes are very important during the roller coaster, probably the most important part. And there are numerous different types of brakes that roller coasters can use, but today we're only going to be talking about trim brakes and fin brakes. So, fin brakes are the most traditional type of brake that is used, and how this works is that there are series of fins and clamps that attach under the roller coaster, and there are sensors that are on these clamps. And so when a train of the roller coaster moves across these sensors, the fins and the clamps kind of squeeze together, which makes the train move to a stop. And these brakes are actually fail safe, which means if there's like a power outage, these brakes will still work. The second type of brake we're going to discuss are trim brakes. And how trim brakes works is these actually activate during the course of the ride. So say there's like a storm that hits while you're mid roller coaster ride, and basically what these brakes do is they'll stop it even though there's so much going on. These were installed so that if the roller coaster is taking elements too quickly, it will stop it so you can get off the ride and move on. So now that we know some of the safety mechanics in each roller coaster, we can now discuss the measures of safety that are there to ensure their performance. This is where block brake and section block systems come in. And these basically keep everyone on the roller coaster safe and accounted for. So James Wesser explains that the block brake systems work by having sensors that are put around the track, and these sensors send signals to this computer that is called the Programmable Logic Controller, also called a PLC. And basically, this will just notify the operator where the train is on the track at all times. And so each roller coaster has two PLCs. We have the main one and the backup one for emergencies. And yeah. And so according to Thames and Cosmos, coasters also are able to have multiple trains on the track at once due to section blocks. And how section blocks works is this is a circuit that is broken up into blocks, and each block has its own set of brakes. So for every train, there needs to be an additional block that is always unoccupied. And so say you have 3 separate trains on a roller coaster, there will then be 4 block zones. And the reason for this is, say one of the trains is acting up and it's shutting down, then the roller coaster will break down, which means that all of the roller coasters will finish their circuit, slow to a stop to the next additional zone, so that all of the trains on the track will be safe and everyone in it will also be safe. So the last thing that we're going to talk about to ease your mind while you're on a roller coaster is the daily inspections that each roller coaster has to undergo. So how Roller Coaster 101 actually explains that each ride is inspected daily, and so people will come in during the morning of the before the park opens, and they will check different things. They'll check like the high stress areas of the ride, such as like the top of the hill or the places where you get the most airtime, stuff like that. They'll also make sure that the track is cleared. Like, say there's a storm that happened the night before, we'll make sure that there's no like branches on the track. They also make sure that the tires are inflated. They check all of the mechanics of the roller coaster. They also check the buttons and the lights on like the operator's panel to make sure that's working as well. In conclusion, today I have discussed the information you need to feel safe on your next ride at Hershey Park. While many of the roller coasters may feel scary, they all have built-in mechanics, they all have daily inspections, they all have safety features so that you are ensured safety. So, no matter how scary roller coasters may seem, they have been designed for your safety. Thank you.